What is up, everybody? It's Tuesday night. Time to vibe. Gonna be doing a little dual project work today. Still working on the Code Guild Content Creation Center, Content Command Center, whatever the heck I call it now. My Grok credits reset for the week about 8 minutes ago. So we are good to keep working. Just nice. Nice. And then I'm also working on trying to get the Code Guild community brain set up so that we can record our daily VIP meetings and make them searchable. I had started working on that with Gemini anti-gravity, and it was a complete disaster. It completely screwed it up. And so I've had to rebuild it all. Very disappointing. So I've got ChatGPT working on that right now. It's doing a bunch of back-end stuff to build the piping to be able to like save the Google Meet videos and process transcripts. So not a lot that I can show you right there. But we do need to clean up all of these all these graphics. And I don't know if I've got a CTA one in this. Well, it's locked up. That's not good. Yeah, I just don't know if my beat finder found a CTA or not. There's one. Okay, we do have the brand CTA. Let's go. Somebody just bought something from me on eBay. Let's go. There's also a Grok for Excel add-in and a Grok for Word add-in, and I've got videos for both of those on my channel. If you get... Okay, so this one, I can tell right away, it's added more parameters that I don't actually need. So we're going to work on that one first to get that one tightened up. So I'm just telling it, I'm working on the brand CTA lock up this graphic, and I don't actually need all these parameters that it's been added to it. It's pretty much locked in the way I want it to be. So that's a nice little task. We're just simplifying it. Much easier than building something. Okay. I'm also doing stuff in Codex at the same time, but it's copying some meeting information and stuff around that I don't necessarily want to There's also a Grok for Excel add-in. Can you hear me? I've been sitting here talking to myself the whole time, like a knucklehead. Thanks for telling me, Will. I appreciate that. I didn't realize that. I'm sitting here talking to myself like a retard. Let's go. How you doing tonight, man? Just doing a little vibe coding here with Grok. I'm actually working on 2 projects at the same time. I got another one going in a separate window that I'm working with Codex, but right now the work that it's doing is copying and pasting a bunch of information for setup, and I just don't really want to put that on a live YouTube screen at the moment. You got anything fun stuff you're working on? Any projects on your plate? Why is it waiting on a response? Waiting for what response? If you stream or work on a long form video. It's a good question. You got a channel? Can I check out your channel? Just vibrating, cool to the room. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. You do you though, man. I'm not here to judge you. If vibrating makes you feel good, then you do it, bro. Let's restart the server to make sure those changes stuck. Cool to the room. It's freaking hot where I live. Just your name. Is it on YouTube? I wouldn't do sub for sub anyway. I just wanted to see what you do. I still reserve the right to look at it and not subscribe. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Woody. So one of the things that I don't like is I can't get all the way to that beat without selecting it. So we're going to fix that. Twitch, Kick, IG. Awesome. Do you stream gaming? Let's check it out. I'm going to check out your channel. I'm going to do it off screen though, so I don't get any copyright strikes for showing your channel. Nice. I like your thumbnails, man. I like that colors. Ooh, programming with Arduino. Breadboard, very cool. That's something I wish I knew more about. Oh, nice, dude. You're doing some game dev, huh? That's cool. Yeah, I like those thumbs. I like the color contrast. Those look nice. It's very cool. Yeah, I wish I understood more about robotics and building actual things. It's always been a glaring hole in my skill set. Ah, there we go. That's much better. All right, so now we can go to here. We can test that. And it looks like there's no inputs. Perfect. This, I don't like that being there. We're going to move that up here, but that's fine. There's also a Grok for Excel add-in and a Grok for Word add-in, and I've got videos for both of those. That looks like it is... It looks like it's good. Okay. Let's go back into Grok. Let's lock... Yeah, so we're locking, this one is complete, so that gets 8 done. And then I told it to just, let's go ahead and move this thing up here out of the way, because I want to keep the play, next, and previous. I want to keep those all on one line. I get a little bit of a stickler about my user interfaces. I like them to be crisp and intuitive. You do Java? Do you actually do development as a real job? Netlify. What is Netlify? What is that? Netlify. Build and deploy easily. Push your ideas to the web. Okay, so Netlify is for like a deployment. What's the pricing on this? Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna point you at the Google Cloud stack, my friend. So all of these things like Netlify and Vercel and everything else, they end up just adding up and costing you a lot of money. And it becomes a friction to, like, the awesome part about vibe coding is you can just kind of create whatever projects you want. But then every time you go to like Vercel, it's $20 to host it, another $20 to host it. And then all of a sudden you're paying $300 a month in hosting fees. And if you instead move all of that stuff to Google Cloud, they have a pay as you go hosting, to where you only really start to incur fees once you're actually getting traffic. And a lot of the stuff, is way easier because you get APIs into all the Google products and all that stuff. But I think I have like 7 different things hosted, and I pay like $15 a month total. So, uh, it's a little bit more finicky. You'll have to learn a little bit more for the deployment. But the nice part is all the tools know how it works. And so I literally have Codex like walking me through deploying something right now. My Vibe Code Guild brain project. So you definitely can use those, but if you want to be cheap like I am, Google Cloud is pretty strong. Okay, cool. So we got that one done. I believe dependency stack is already done. You guys love how it's like locked on this really stupid looking face of mine? Oh, dependency stack is not started. Okay, cool. Let's get that one done. Visual package, we go to placement. And dependency stack. I swear we worked on this last night. Oh, I know why. That's fine. The That's this
Before
one.
we do that, my name is Shane McGrath.
Stop.
Before we do that, my name is
Stop. This beat doesn't have enough stuff in it. So, but I don't think I have any more context types. Do I? Yeah, this one will work. Let's change this one. Wait, what? That's not even the right layout. Oh, it is. It's fine. We'll change this one to full screen talking and dependency stack. That's good enough for testing. Good enough for testing. Oh, that filter is carrying over to everything. Interesting. All right. I set a filter on phase 2 assignment, and it's still filtering. Let's see how I've got a filter here for the beat type that's carrying over to phase 3, which it shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be in here at all. So we'll let Grok fix that little bug. Oh, you work for a hosting company? That's cool. So you probably get like free credits, right? Are you in the Bay Area? I feel like all the tech companies are here in the Bay. So I've built a lot of projects in Next.js this year. And I have never actually written Java. Pretty wild, right? Oh, you're in SF? That's cool. I live in the East Bay. I was a .NET guy. And then once I started using the AI tools, I work a lot in Python and Java now, but which I know them, I can read it, but I've never written Java the artisanal way by typing it. It's kind of funny. Okay, cool. So phase 3, this needs to have like it's like overlapping. That's fine. Let's work on. I swear I changed that. It's fine. So I'm just clearing out the test assignments of all the graphics so that I can just kind of set up what I need manually to allow me to continue doing this. Drupal, South Carolina, nice, dude. Do they pay you like California wages? So that's the way to do it, is to get a Bay Area company to hire you and pay you California wages and let you live somewhere that's not California so that you're rich. Nice. Haven't been to South Carolina for a really long time. Well, yeah. Yeah, but at least you can support your kids. I don't know if I've been to South Carolina since I was a kid. I think I've only been to North Carolina, right? Because High Point and Charlotte, those are both North Carolina, right? I think South Carolina, I just went when I was a little kid. We went to like Myrtle Beach. All right, we are cooking. Let's clear this. Let me check in on Codex now. I'll do that later. It's asking me to do some config stuff that I don't really want to do on screen. All right, open up my project. We'll show you how my video production workflow works here. So this is after I've got all my transcript, is all done. So now we go into our visual package, and this is all my transcript. So the first step is I click my master beater. My master beater is using AI to go through and try to identify all of the beats in my script, my transcript, because this is a video that's already recorded. Okay, so it looks like it did one and then left the rest of them sitting there, which is pretty crap. Let's ask Grok about that. I haven't really done a full test of this process because I've just been doing dev work. But I know how I want it to work. We've got all the skeleton in place. It's just getting it all dialed in. Do your kids like to build circuits and stuff with you? Max turns too. How would it? That sounds problematic. I don't know why I did that. Oh, nice. That's super cool. Does a robot have a purpose? Is it like for a robotics club or a contest or something? Or do my homework robot? Cook my dinner robot? It ran out of turns. What the hell does that mean? I don't understand what that means. I haven't actually kicked this off via the API or the UI. Grok actually had been running that behind my scenes here. Okay. So it's saying that, so it kicks off an agent in the background. That's cool. That's what I thought. It's saying it has a limit hard-coded to 2 turns, which was not enough to finish labeling the whole transcript. I don't know if it's using turns the way that I expect it to. So I asked Grok to define what a turn means very clearly in this context. Brain is the parent pilot app on Android to monitor, manage the body's 3D printed. That's cool. I have 3 of the Bamboo Lab 3D printers. Those things are awesome. Claude Fusion 360, nice. Purpose is to do something to do 7, kind of follows along. Mics, cameras, speakers, nice. It's really cool, man. Okay. Let's start the server. We'll run this again. Open the project again. Go to this, and we run our master beater. A Tomy chatbot. I remember the name Tomy, but I feel like they had a million little robots that looked cool and were very expensive in the Sears catalog, but they didn't really do much. Let's see what we find here. This one. This guy. Nice. It kind of looks like a fancy tape recorder. Which, you know, with the technology they had back then, still, you know, still trying to be innovative. Still looks cool. I love that old school aesthetic like that. Yeah, see, this looks like a but I don't think this is not a cassette. Is that a cassette tape? That looks like an eject button. That's a cassette. That's like a micro cassette tape, right? You're not looking at the robots in the Sears catalog? I don't think that's true, John. I think you were looking at Sears catalog robots probably this week. Calling shenanigans on that. I looked at them. I never got one, man. My parents were not in that kind of tax bracket. So all I got to do was look at the catalog. Remember that as a ritual, looking at the Sears catalog and circling all the things that you wish you would get, but you knew would never ever happen. It says it's running. I think we need some kind of progress bar here on this. Let's check the log, see if it failed. I don't think this actually worked. Don't think that it actually worked, man. It looks like it's running, but I'm pretty sure it's locked up in the back. Ah, it says it's done. I don't think it worked. It's frustrating. That was working before. I don't know what got broken. Something got broken. I think the backend is all in Python. To be honest, I've spent almost no time looking at the code. Yeah, it's all Python. I'm at the point where I've like fully embraced the vibe. Like I don't even really bother looking at code anymore. And this is something that's for me, so I don't really have to worry about it too much. I'm not, releasing it and try to charge for it. I'm putting it out there free so people can take it if they want, but it just runs locally on my computer. Yeah, I'm asking Grok. It looks like it's finished, but there's no output. Why isn't it working? I think before Grok just ran it through the CLI, and that's how I got the output. I don't think I've actually run. I don't think I've actually run it through the user interface through the front end. So I suspect we've just got something different. So all this stuff is Python, which is another language I've never actually coded in. I've studied it, but I never coded it. The concept of writing in a language where I've got to worry about indentation just turned me off so much after I studied it that I just never bothered building anything in it. I think that it's stupid. I still think that that's a stupid way to construct logic. Don't want to sit and try to like read through and figure out where an indent is missing. But AI can do that for me. Standalone freemium apps. Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult in the near future to get people to pay for your software. Like this all originally started because I didn't want to pay for a subscription to Descript. And then it's just grown and grown and grown. So the goal is to get all this dialed in to where I don't have to have CapCut or Descript or any of those other tools. I have exactly what I need to do exactly what I need to make long form content without it completely taking over my life. We got 5 people in here. Dude, I'm big time now. I'm big time, John. That's a whole hand worth of people. All right, what's going on here? So the UI calls the API, shells out to Grok with the full transcript and skill. It's flaky, often no good. Earlier offline. This is what actually worked before. That's fine. I can run it through here. That's the only part where the AI really gets involved in this process. So if I have to run it through here, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. All right, we got our beats done. So this part still isn't super refined. I can tell that it's making a lot of short stuff. I mean, it is doing a good job of identifying between the punchlines and the proofs and stuff. So this will just take some working with to get it dialed in. All right. So I need dependency stack. And that one was a context one. So we are going to go ahead and turn this
Your life
into
is about to get way easier.
Shut up. We're going to turn this into a context. I'm actually just going to lump a bunch of these together and turn them into what what I need to test. We'll turn this one into, I think I already got proof in there quite a few times. Punchline, aftershock, example, prompt. I know I've got in there. Let's just worry about context for now. Now we hit our scene layer. So scene layer goes through and it looks at the first frame of every one of these beats to determine which of my 8 OBS layouts it's supposed to use. And then, so see how it identified whether I'm talking in the corner. And then I do the assign, and that assigns the available graphics to it. So this one, it hit that. I'm going to go ahead and hit dependency stack. So now that I've got that one, I can go into here. And I don't like this. This is annoying me. Let's fix this now. I don't like this. Let's just fix that now. I don't like how this is all munged up. So we'll just move this down here underneath. That'll show my lock icon again. And it now does not have my... Oh, I know why. I still got to click place. So place goes through and sets our initial graphics. This one, so this is the words that are in that beat. These are the inputs that that graphic needs. This is one that
your life is about to get way easier.
Shows a bunch of bullet points.
10 ways,
which is cool. So we'll change this to title text. Okay. I have a few videos and I'm using it now. Do I like it better than Claude or Codex? So Claude and Codex both have been involved heavily in this project, and they completely just did a terrible job with this whole graphic placement thing. And Opus 5 specifically was the one that I had used most recently, and it is terrible. I hate the Opus 5 model, and I don't think that I'll ever use it again. It lies constantly. It is the most dishonest and untrustworthy model that I've used in the entire year and a half that I've been going crazy with AI. It lies constantly. So it won't be part of my workflow again. Fable got involved in this yesterday because I was out of Grok tokens. But again, it just starts drifting all over the place and doing a bunch of crap that I didn't ask it to do. So I'm not super fond of it right now. I do use Codex a lot. The issue that I'm having with Fable and Soul is they all want to take on too much autonomy and start doing stuff that I didn't ask them to do. Whereas Grok tends to stay on the plan better and just kind of behave. It doesn't seem as good at, like, you got to give it smaller challenges one by one, but it's just more trustworthy right now. I don't like the word hallucination. I feel that that was an industry word that they used to like make it not sound so serious. We need to be more honest about what that is. It's lying. It's not hallucinating. It's like literally like lying. It's deceiving. It's Sam Altmaning. All right, let's try this graphic and see what it does.
Your life is about to get way easier because I'm going to teach you 10 ways that you can use Grok for PowerPoint add-in to be more productive, produce better materials, and maybe even get one of those fancy employee parking spots like Lumberg.
Okay, cool. So the timing isn't exactly what I want.
Your life
So it looks like it's showing bullet 1 at the same time that it's doing the title.
is about to get way easier because
Yeah, so this is where I would expect bullet 1 to appear.
I'm going to teach you 10 ways.
It's hitting this at 540.
Ways that you can use Grok for PowerPoint add-in to be
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna copy this in there. We're just gonna give it the image. I'm working on. So we'll see if you can figure it out from the image what the problem is. If not, I'll get more detail to my prompt. Thanks, man. Yeah, so basically every graphic ends up with the user interface for that graphic type where I can put, the exact words that I want. And, the bullets that fly in as I'm explaining something, as I'm making points, they appear in line with my voice because I can set exactly which frame each one of them shows. But yeah, just continuing to get library like that. So I've got 18 that I pulled from previous videos that I'd made. And I'm just trying to get all of the ones that I've got perfected. And then my intention is to, every time I make a new video, to also add one more graphic treatment to the library and just continue growing those over time. I don't really use, I don't think I use any MCPs, and I use skills sparingly. I think that the skill thing is massively overhyped, and I only use them when I have to, and I'm very intentional about stripping them down so that they have one use. So you've coded, you obviously understand object-oriented programming, right? The way that you build stuff that's extendable and maintainable is by having separation of concerns. And what these skills do is they just jam 15 different jobs into something that is contract semantic language, not logic. So it becomes very hard to sort through and figure out what's doing what. It becomes very hard to make sure that it's going to be the same every time. They tend to be very poorly designed from a software engineering perspective. So that specifically is the reason that I got into so much problem with this graphics project. Is I really tried to delegate the creation of the agents and the agentic process and creation of the skills, and just kind of allow Claude to try to do it and allow ChatGPT to try to do it. And I just ended up with this giant bird's nest mess that I couldn't predict what it was going to do. And so we had to take a while back and really think what it is. So the only skill that I even have in this right now is that that one that you guys just saw crap out, the master beater runs on a skill. But it's a very narrowed in, like literally your only job is to look at a transcript and identify what beat types are in it and what words are in those. Then all the other stuff, I've taken out of skills and I've put them into deterministic like code modules, so I know exactly what it's going to do every time I click the button. Skills are cool. And I think they're pretty powerful. The problem is just most of the people that are making content about AI are influencers that have not actually ever done software. So they're just overhyping what it can do, and they're not really giving people good design principles. You know, they're mostly giving you stuff that's going to get you in trouble. Yeah, I mean, the high level logic is all there. Nerfing its video and audio. Nerfing whose video and audio? Claude? It's interesting, right? Because there's this. The common viewpoint is that software engineering is dead, right? And why would you ever go study software engineering? And I think software engineering, actual engineering, is more important now than it ever has been. People just got into this idea that like somehow software engineering was your ability to like write syntax and be a syntax monkey, and that's not really engineering. That's just implementation crap that you can hire offshore labor to do. Engineering is the ability to think through the process, solve the problems, create good structures, and that stuff's more important than ever. You know, turning that into JavaScript, that's a waste of time. Let AI worry about the implementation. Yeah, definitely the what, when, why. I think that, you know, still a lot of opportunity for people to learn. I think it's cool though, because a lot of people that traditionally wouldn't have wanted to get in software will now be open to it. Because to be honest, dude, like writing code is kind of a pain in the ass. I happen to enjoy it. I like the intellectual challenge of it, but I would say over the 30 years that I've been doing it, it tends to be, if I pick a 40-hour week, it's like 38 hours of just frustration and dealing with like, why won't this shit compile, and just like, why is this not working? And then there's like 2 hours a week of like, yeah, I did it. Let's go. It's working. And now with the AI, it's like, you know, 30 hours of being excited in the flow. Still 10 hours of like dealing with headache, but it's getting better. All right. Grok is looking at that. Okay, so let's see what he figured out here. Bullets were not landing on the craft frames. Root cause is confirmed in the fixes in code. The placement frames are correct. But the cached was still on the old path that it evenly distributed. All right, let me restart this. Yeah, I mean, I wish that I would have learned hardware, John. I like tinkering and building stuff with my hands, and I mean, I always did construction with my dad. I like doing that. They're just, I mean, I've told you this. All my software engineering I learned because I didn't want to do my job. Like, all my interest in building code was just like, oh, well, shit, I can make my computer do this for me. And in Wall Street, there was no way for me to use Arduino to do things for me. I had to use code. I have an Arduino board, and I've bought some books, and I've done some like sample projects and stuff, but I don't really fully understand it. I really wish I did. I know when I was in Cub Scouts when I was a kid. We were at one of the, they always do those like jamborees and stuff. There was one where there was a module where I got to work with a breadboard, and I remember thinking that was the coolest thing ever when I was a kid. But then I never really got to use it again because I didn't have anyone in my life that actually understood what that was, and to like, try to look at those. What's that language where they write the diagrams? Like the drawings where they've got like the squiggly lines for transistors or capacitors or whatever. Was it schematics? Is that right? Schematics? Yeah, I just didn't have anyone in my life that could translate that. So I never really got to play around with it. I always thought it was cool though. Still think it's cool. I just don't fully get it.
Life is about to get way easier because I'm going to teach you
All right.
10 ways that you can use Grok for PowerPoint
Oh.
add-in to be more productive, produce better materials, and maybe even get one of those fancy employee parking spots like Lumberg.
Let's go. All right, I think I should be able to nudge the end into. Let's try it. And then I'm going to add a bullet just to test. And then we'll make it in right after I say Lumberg. So see, part of having the words over here was that I can pick that word and then pick the bullet, and then that helps me like line up the frames. But let's see.
Your life is about to get way easier because I'm going to teach you 10 ways that you can use Grok for PowerPoint add-in to be more productive, produce better materials, and maybe even get one of those fancy employee parking spots like Lumberg.
I like it, bro. Let's go. Electrical notation. Yeah, dude, I didn't have any nerd friends when I was a kid. I just had a bunch of rednecks around me. I got beat up for being a nerd. I didn't really actually like letting people know I was smart until I was in my 20s. I tried to hide it. All right, dependency stack is locked. I like that graphic. South Carolina, so yeah, it's interesting. I'm ending up with a lot of people in my community there from more rural areas that it seems like a lot of us had overlapping experiences. You should join our school community, Will. We got some cool people in there. We have some cool meetings. I'll pop a link in there. Yeah, so cool people in there, great people, tremendous people. Only the best in my group. But yeah, a lot of people that are interested in AI, and we just kind of get together and learn a lot of these things together. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so graphics, so that's 9. Let's go. We are halfway through this kinetic word punctuation. That one should be easy to find. So we will find that one should be in a punchline. Did it identify? There we go. Okay, so this one I'm guessing. Perfect. Okay, so see how I've got the words picked? Now where I want that, I can put in there, I can say, type in whatever I want. And I can have them appear. So I'm going to have it say Grok. That's when it's going to appear. And see how that adjusts the timing. And I can see right here which frame on the timeline of that beat where it appears. And so I should be able to play a preview.
But now we have this new cool thing
I don't like it showing the pink early.
It allows us to use Grok inside PowerPoint as a native feature, which is super cool.
Okay, but it's almost there. It's showing the words at the right moment.
In our PowerPoint that allows us to use Grok in.
Okay, cool. So, so kinetic word punctuation has one small bug. It's showing the pink box at the beginning of the beat. I want it to show that and the words at the same time. So that one's an easy fix. Then we'll have 10 done. We are moving through this, bro. We are making progress. I'm freaking excited. I got a bunch of videos I want to do too, man. I got some good ideas, but I haven't recorded because I want to be able to make good ones. That Grok for PowerPoint video I did was good. The content's good. The examples are good, but I just don't feel good about it not having graphics. I have higher expectations for myself. All right, Will said he'd join. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I got a membership request pending. John, should I deny him? Should I live deny him on YouTube? What do you think? Should I just kick him out on YouTube? Nah, we'll let him in. He seems all right. I was on the fence there, bro. I was really thinking about not letting you in. Just to smite you like on like live YouTube. Yeah, it would have been savage. It would have been funny as hell, honestly. It definitely would have been pretty savage. I think you're number 149. Yeah, there you go. One more, we're an even 150. 149's a prime, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, it's prime. That's cool. There you go. You got a prime number. Hey, don't you hate on me, man. I happen to be very fond of math. Quite fond of math. Yeah, school's pretty cool. It, you know, it's just like a community platform. The reason that I did that versus like starting my own was that you get people that are in other groups inside school will find you. So I felt like there was like a network effect that I was getting. It's got pros and cons like anything else, but so far we like it. We've got our free groups, so you can come in there, you know, post whatever you want as long as it's not awful or spammy. We got our free Friday Night Vibes call that's open to everybody. And then it's true, it was not cool until John got there. And then we just started our VIP tier this week where we're having daily meetings and we're all getting online, talking about our projects, sharing notes, learning together. And I'm recording those and turning them into a searchable brain. So that was the other project I was working on today with Codex, but I'm at the point now where I got to do some deployment stuff. And I don't want to do that while I'm live streaming because I'm just a little bit nervous that I'm going to end up accidentally showing keys on screen or something stupid that I'll regret. So I'll work on that later. Where's Grok at with my kinetic thing? Still building. Okay, so Grok has assured me the kinetic is fixed. Let's test it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys understand how excited I am to be getting close to having this done. This has been a really hard thing to figure out. It required learning a lot of new skills, which is fun. I had to learn a lot of stuff that I didn't know how to do before. All right.
But now we have this new cool thing installed in our PowerPoint that allows us to use Grok.
Bam! Look at go. Let's go. All right, perfect. Actually, I'm going to add one more feature to that now that I am. Well, no, we're going to keep it as is. We're going to keep that one done. Oh, yeah, the Tech Tuesday call. Man, I haven't been on one of those for so long. He's going late. He's going 3.5 hours tonight? What the hell are people talking about? I thought he quit doing the super long Tuesday calls. Last time I talked to him, he had trimmed it down. It was not about the nonsense. Oh, you're okay. Just the people that are like pretending like they're working, but actually talking on Zoom. I don't know what happens. I work all day, but I only get 20 listings done. Get out of the dang Zoom room and get to work. Go do that for an hour. You'll be done. Then you can come out and hang out in the Zoom all day. All right, we are going to work on this example card. So I like this one, but I want to change the layout a little bit. So we're going to copy that. So this one's got a fair number of inputs in it. Okay, so let's think this through. I want to keep this. I like that. Actually, let's see if we even have one in there already before I start telling it stuff that it already did. Example there. All right, so what has it got set up so far?
Example 2 deals
Well, that sucks right there.
with what I like to call PowerPoint abuse. And that's where someone has created a slide that is just a massive word dump, and you want to turn it into something graphical so the audience pays attention to.
Okay, that's why that's hanging off is these words. Okay. So it has mixed this up into like a bullet point.
Example 2 deals with what I like to call PowerPoint abuse, and that's where someone has. Example 2 deals with what I like to call power.
Okay, cool. So it got what I was concerned about, which is the total examples. Yeah, this was actually literally what I was getting ready to type. I'm glad I looked at it first. Okay, so see how it has these little dots down here? So I made that for as I'm doing a video where I've got a bunch of examples so that you can see what example we're on. So this is example 2 out of 10. So this 10 here controls how many dots are there. And then it also controls this number here. So that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't know if I need the separate bullet points. don't think I care though. So we will have this one reveal. I think it's showing the box before it's showing the text though.
Example 2 deals with what I like to call.
Yeah, so all right, let's first deal with that. All right, we were closer than I thought that this one was going to be a lot more of a pain in the neck than it was, but it's pretty close to being what I want, so that's good. It looks like actually, should I leave it like that? Well, yeah, no, I want to be able to say, okay, I want to be able to have it like show when I say example 2.
Point of use, and that's where someone has created a slide that is just a massive word dump, and you want to turn it into something graphical so the audience pays attention to you.
I can't drag this around. I have to
and your fancy
go
new
through the whole
tie
thing, which is annoying.
instead of ignoring you to read text on a screen. Example 2 deals with what I like to.
I think I can work with this. I don't think I actually even need to change anything. Let's try. We'll pretend like I was doing an actual video. So I would want that to show up at the beginning. PowerPoint abuse. So this frame, this happens when I say PowerPoint abuse. Now later I would actually make this be a joke reveal, but we will turn it into when I say fancy tie. And I think that this is going to play exactly like I want it to.
Example 2 deals with what I like to call PowerPoint abuse.
Yeah.
And that's where someone has created a slide that is just a massive word dump, and you want to turn it into something graphical so the audience pays attention to you and your fancy new tie instead of.
I love it. We're declaring that one a victory. I like it. So we're at 11. Let's go. Telling Grok numbered example card is perfect too. Very nice work on that one. It was complicated. I really thought that was going to be a pain in the butt, but Grok did a great job on that. Nice job, Grokster. Nice job. I find it's important. John's heard me say this, but I find it's important to give your AI some compliments. Show some gratitude. When it does a good job, let it know. Okay, numbered step intro. Is example. So let's see, do I have a numbered step intro here? There we go. Let's see how it looks first.
Example, and this is pretty much the core use case for PowerPoint. You have a bunch of data and stats, and you need to make it look pretty because you know that people in
Okay.
meetings are easily distracted by shiny things, and that's going to make everyone think that you're smart.
So I can change the number. Does that work to take the number off? No.
This first example, and this is
I'm giving it that error that I got when I tried to do that. Yell at it. Nah, dude, I'm not going to be yelling at these things because I really don't think it's that long before they're more powerful than all of us, and I want to be on the right side of them. They're going to need some meat bags to go around and do errands for them. And I would like to be one of those meat bags instead of being caught in the grand AI robot genocide. I'm okay if I'm a pet. Harness. Yeah, harness. John, do you agree with this? I feel like harness started getting into the diagram after OpenClaw. Or do you feel like we were talking about it before OpenClaw? I feel like OpenClaw was the first example of somebody thinking it was a harness. I do, you know, I'll cuss at it from time to time, but I want to save it for when I'm actually annoyed. Because it's like a kid. If you just like yell at it every single time you open your mouth, then it starts to lose impact. You know, it keeps using these ugly blue check marks. And I don't know how that got into our style, but I freaking hate them. These look like trash. Also, I don't like how these labels have dot dot dots. So we're going to fix that. Telling it to I don't like these dot dot dots. That's just lazy. We got plenty of space. So show the entire label. And then I hate this blue check mark. Let's just turn that into a toggle. It looks terrible. It does not match my UI at all. Claude Code session with your app or with your robot? Does your company actually allow you to use AI tools? I know a lot of people that are doing like programming for a real job, their employers won't actually let them use the best AI tools. All right, that looks better. That looks better. Let's see what happens if I turn that off. Oh, I got to restart the API. No problem. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you get to use it. A lot of people are working at companies where they're not actually able to use the tools. They get stuck using stupid things like Copilot. Which what was that? Honestly, for me, I think I would quit rather than use Copilot. All right, so let's see what happens if I turn off the number.
This first example, and this is pretty much the core use case for PowerPoint. You have a bunch of data.
Okay, that looks good. Turn the number back on, number 10.
This first example, and this is pretty much the core use case for PowerPoint. You have a bunch of data and stats.
All right, that looks good. The only thing I want to change is I want that pink text to be bigger. Token maxing, let's go. Max it out.
Let's go. Thanks, Ian. Welcome to the channel. Hey, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I do have the school community. So if you would like to continue learning, it's free. Jump in there. Lots of cool people learning to vibe code, building projects together. I appreciate you stopping by to say hi. Keeps me going. What are you working on, man? Tell me about your projects. I love hearing what people are working on. All of the cool kids are doing it, and the nerds are doing it too. National Parks websites? Oh, that's cool. Do you work for the NPS? Now you got my interest, dude. I'm a big fan of national parks. Prior to the great COVID hoax, we used to go do road trips all the time, and my kids had like 50 of those junior ranger badges. 40% of the monthly usage at work, and it's the second day. Shit. I don't think they would like me working for them, dude. I have like 4 paid subscriptions, and I max out all of them. Oh, you're an Aussie? Do you know, this is a funny joke for you. I wish that you were, it would be funnier if you were on the video with me. You will get this, and I hope that you'll laugh. Maybe some of the other people will get it. Do you know the secret to finding an Australian sniper? Very easy. All you got to do is yell, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Then he'll pop up and yell, oi, 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 and you plink him right between the eyes. Easiest thing you could ever do. That's how you find an Aussie sniper. This first example, and this is pretty much... I say that as a fan of Australians, just to be clear. You have a bunch of data and stats. All right. This first example. Do I even need that 10, the number out there? It's interesting that there's no space, but I can hack that myself by putting a space in. This first example and this first example and I don't like that. Okay. What happens if I take the 10 out? This first example. Yeah, okay. That is annoying. All right. Yeah, dude, I love Aussies. Aussies are a wild bunch. I'm a snowboarder, so I've met quite a few Aussies over my life. You guys manage to... There's always some Aussies. Every mountain town, there's always some Aussies. Quite a few Aussies have made their way into Wall Street too. Trying to think whether I respect the Australians version, the Australians' ability to curse more, or the British ability to curse. I think I'm giving it to the Aussies. But the Brits are definitely a close second. They're definitely better than Americans at cussing.
Yeah, I'm saying Aussies edge them out at just raw profanity. Brits second, then we'll put Americans third. Yeah, Bogan. I love it. Who was that freaking Aussie guy speaks or something? Who the hell was that guy? Aussie man. You guys know this guy? You guys ever seen this guy's video? Aussie man? I used to love watching this guy. He's got all these destination fucked videos, and then he was just cuss like crazy, and the Aussie slang words, like calling them Sheilas. Look at this Sheila here. But I quit watching him because he went woke a couple years ago, and I just find that shit obnoxious. And especially if you're not American complaining about our politics, well, you don't really get to do that. If you're American, you can complain all you want, but you can't be in another country complaining. It's not fair. Guy's entertaining though, man. Destination fucked. What about Jerry of the Day? Did you guys ever see Jerry of the Day? Jerry of the Day is good snowboarding humor. I don't think I can play anyone else's like YouTube videos on here without getting myself in trouble. I feel like that would probably get me a copyright strike, and I don't need that.
This first example, and this is pretty much the core use case for PowerPoint. You have a bunch of data.
All right, I'm happy with that. We will lock that in. All right, that's good. I think that gets us to 12 now, you guys. We are 2/3 of the way done. Let's go. All right, so that was numbered step intro. It gets us to problem card triptych, which I think we already did. Just context and list. So I think I have one of those in here. There we go. All right, let's play it first, see how it looks.
If you're using this, you would want to use another AI tool to do some research, summarize that, drop that in here, and let Grok put that into the presentation for you.
Okay, let's try changing the word. Choose to make sure that works first. I like that Grok put in the tab stops. That's a nice feature. And then we are going to go ahead and test that the end actually works. And I'm gonna add a bullet. I don't know if that actually works. Let's see. And we will move this one over. Okay. Received 100 message today. Let's go. We're like big time now.
If you're using this, you would want to use another AI tool to do some research, summarize that, drop that in here, and let Grok put that into the presentation for you.
Yeah, I don't think the timing's working.
If you're using this, you would want to use another AI tool to do some...
Which is fine. Grok figured that one out earlier pretty quickly, so we will pop that in there. So that's a really good question, Will. So it is using HyperFrames to render these graphics. But HyperFrames has been very, very poorly explained in the YouTube universe, which is why I ended up in a lot of the problems that I got into. So HyperFrames is a plugin. Let's look at it together. HyperFrames is, it's a plugin, right? So it's really just a layered set of skills for the most part. There also is, oh, they've updated this. I think this got updated today. There's also like libraries in there that render graphics. Yeah, they just added more stuff. Yeah, this wasn't there a couple days ago. Interesting. So it has different skills, and then underneath the skills, there's like recipes and stuff for rendering specific graphics. And so, according to YouTube, it makes it seem like you can just point Claude at your video and it'll do all this. It won't unless you give it a lot of instructions of what needs to happen where, what graphics you want, etc. There are also, because HyperFrames is very much vibe coded, you can tell by looking inside the code and the studio tools and stuff like that. It's very much vibe coded. There's a lot of things that are dead ended or partially implemented or parallel implementation paths. So it's a bit of a mess. So part of what I've been doing over the last 3 days is re-engineering HyperFrames and only taking the parts that I want. So this project is using HyperFrames in the end for the rendering, but it's not what YouTube is making you think you can do, which is just point HyperFrames at it and let it run wild. I don't think that was actually an even very helpful explanation, but I'll show you. Because I was having a hard time figuring out what HyperFrames could even do. And so I spent a bunch of time with Claude over the weekend digging through, and then made videos that just show everything that you actually can do with HyperFrames. So this is a video that shows what you can do with data visualization in HyperFrames. So some of the stuff that's built into it. So, I mean, it's a very powerful tool. You just have to dig into it a little bit more and understand what it can do. Line charts. And most of what it's doing is for rendering stuff on websites. It just has been kind of jammed into like, oh, you actually could do that over the top of videos, which essentially replaces a lot of After Effects. Yeah, so so if you've played with it a while, there's a skill in there, Talking Head Recut or something. Let me find it, because it caused a lot of problems. Where is the stupid thing? They definitely have been working on this. They've added stuff. Huh. I'll have to look at this more. Yeah, they've added a lot in the last week. Developers. Where is... Sorry. Agent skills. Yeah, they've done a lot of cleanup. It was this one. Anyway, it was somewhere in one of these talking heads things where it was written down in the skill that it could only use 2 or 3 graphic types. And so when I was trying to build out this library and when I was trying to have Claude Code interact with my videos, it was taking the instructions that I gave it, but it was getting overwritten by the stuff at the top of HyperFrames in these skills. And so that created a lot of problems. And that's why I ended up building it up from the bottom. But I'm going to have to go back through here because clearly they've done some updates recently. Either way, it's super cool. It's just not as easy as people want to make it seem. You just have to learn a little bit more about it. But what's nice is instead of like reading very bad documentation, you can just point Claude at it and have it start explaining what you can do and make examples. So I need to upload these in the community. I made I had Claude make a bunch of videos just showing, you know, examples of all the different things that it could do so that I could see it and get some ideas. So I've got, I don't know, six or 8 of these videos of all the different, so these are all the different caption styles that you can use. This one's pretty cool. Classified. And then there's like transitions. So yeah, I got to upload these into the group as a resource for everybody so that other people can get value out of them. Because part of the challenge I ran into when I was trying to build this process was like I didn't really know what HyperFrames was capable of. So I was kind of like letting Claude and ChatGPT and being like, hey, you know, do everything. Just show me what's capable. And then I would get these little basic videos back, but it was because their skills were overriding it. And so I had to go farther to be like, okay, what's actually possible?
If you're using this, you would want to use another AI tool to do some research, summarize that, drop that in here, and let Grok put that into the presentation for you.
Okay, that looks like it's working. So this one we will go ahead and change it to a wood. And this one we will make it show up on tool. And this one will show up on research. So
if you're using this, you would want to use another AI tool to do some research, summarize that,
this is
drop
awesome.
that in here, and let
Exactly
Grok
what I
put that
want.
into the presentation for you.
So
If
see
you're
that?
using this, you would want to use another AI
See how
tool to do
quickly I
some
can add a
research,
graphic treatment into
summarize
a
that,
scene?
drop that in here, and let
Just a
Grok
very,
put that
you
into the
know,
presentation for you.
trimmed down interface exactly for that. This is badass, dude. We're getting there. Index the docs against a local RAG and opens up an MCP for the documentation. Yeah, I definitely want you to jump on one of our calls and explain that more. John has tried to teach me more about these RAG things, but I don't really, I haven't worked with them and I don't fully get them. Most of my database knowledge is in SQL Server world. I've been learning Firebase for the last year, so I'm pretty confident with that. But I just don't know. I don't know the RAGs yet. I know at a very high conceptual level what they are, but definitely something I want to understand more. So I look forward to having you jump on one of our calls with us. That's the goal, man, is to just bring together, as many people as we can that are learning all these things so that we can all learn from each other. I think progress scale's done. No, I've never done that. So like most of my IT stuff has been in the financial world, where we're dealing with very structured data, SQL servers, always SQL, and yeah. So I didn't have to deal with a lot of big data problems. I didn't have to deal with any kind of web states. That progress scale is done. Punchline reveal is done. Robot is good. Source punch zoom, I believe, is good. I want to make sure it agrees with what I think here. Speakerized callout, speaker side panel, trade-off meter UI, and Windows prompt typing. That is correct. That's what I thought. So speaker rise callouts is in context full screen talking. Let's see if we have one of those. Speaker rise callouts. Did one of those get placed? Context. 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 Did not. All right, no problem. We'll go to our assignment.
Your life is about to get way easier because I'm going to teach you 10 ways that you can use Grok for PowerPoint add-in to be more productive.
Shut up. Shut up, you. Okay.
Your life is about to get
And then I think this one I can do up to 8 words. Yeah, so let's move this one. We will nudge that back. We will nudge this one back. Let's nudge this one. And then that's good. Accent cod index. I don't know what that means. Let's try it.
Your life is about to get way easier because I'm going to teach you 10
Okay, so
ways
the timing's off.
that you can use Grok for power.
And it's putting one over the top of my head. That should be easy for Grokster to fix. So I'm giving it an image prompt, telling it the timing is off and that it put bullet 2 over the top of my face. That's good. We should be able to get this one fixed pretty quick, I think. We are blasting through these things, yo. It's exciting, you guys. Very exciting stuff. Did the Ian guy, did he stick around or is he in and out? Oh yeah, so you do live streaming with OBS. So what you have all your OBS elements running through your app, widgets that show active issue queue items and updates when they get resolved. Tell me so what kind of stuff are you showing on OBS? My OBS skills are super amateur. I feel like that's something that barely even scratched the surface of what I can do with that. Yeah, this will be huge once this is done. You guys still in here? Real-time channel stats, sponsors. You got sponsors? I want sponsors. Active project, agenda widget. Are you like live streaming yourself coding? Your own projects you're testing. Yeah, dude. Yeah, please join one of our calls on the Friday Night Vibes. I definitely would really like to see some of the stuff you're working on, and I'm sure some other people in the group would like to see it too. But you're out in South Carolina, so it's going to be kind of late for you because it's at 7 Pacific, which I think is going to be 10 o'clock your time. Should we do vibes an hour earlier, John? What do you think? Should I move it up to 6? Probably be better for you too. Oh, you work late? Maybe I should. John, what do you think? Should I move vibes up an hour? I think I was having to do it at 7 because of picking up the kids from practice. But they're not going to be doing practice for a while. Honestly, I'm going to have some Friday vibes that I'm going to have to cancel fairly soon because football season's going to start. And there are some games that I want to be able to go watch. This my son's class is now varsity. And they're legendary. Yeah, football, high school football. His class has just got freak athletes in it. And then the class below him's got a bunch of insane athletes too. There's this school called De La Salle, which is like the top school out here that they literally went 15 years without ever losing a single game. And his class beat them when they were freshmen. And then we almost beat them again last year, but all the kids were like playing on varsity, so it was like our second string up against them. But now all the varsity kids are back together, so it'll be really them. It's gonna be really interesting to see what they can do this year. And they're all juniors; they still have one more year. They have a pretty good chance of going undefeated and going to state. Get my AI avatar up to speed. So I need to have like an AI host that can like host while I'm watching the game. What am I doing here? Which one was that? Context. No, not that one. This one. All right, it says it's fixed. Let's see.
Your life is about to get way easier because I'm going to teach you 10 ways that you can use Grok for PowerPoint add-in to be more productive, produce better materials, and maybe even get one of those fancy employee parking spots like Lumberg. Your life is about to get way easier.
It's pretty good.
Because I'm going to teach you 10 ways that you can use Grok for PowerPoint add-in to be more productive, produce better materials, and maybe even get one of those fancy employee parking spots.
I don't
like
fully love the placement of the words. So we're going to revise that just a little bit. And then I don't like the black with the white text. So what we're going to do instead is turn those into pink boxes with white text. AI watch as I host. Nah, I gotta go watch some of these games, man. Let's see what their schedule is. We might end up doing Saturday Night Vibes for a little bit. All right, what we got? So that's this year. At El Cerrito, no one cares. They're gonna murder them. Enox, where the hell's Enox? Enox. Who is Enox? Modesto? So what's happened, the school's really good. It's been good for a long time. And the coaching staff are dickheads that like to run up the score on everybody. So no one that's close to us wants to play games against us anymore. So we end up having to travel for like 2 or 3 hours away to find teams that will actually play against us. So Enox, that's in Modesto. That's a good 2-hour drive. Clayton Valley Charter, I'm definitely going to go watch that one. So Clayton Valley Charter had some kid from a private school over on the peninsula that like transferred to go to Clayton Valley Charter because he thinks the coaches are good or something, but he doesn't actually know that he is going to get murdered by our defensive line. So that one's going to be fun to watch that kid get smashed. Clovis North, we played them last year and throttled them. Foothill is another one that's close. Livermore, oh yeah, love watching them get beat. They're actually going to let us play Amador Valley again. Yeah, so pretty much all of these from like September 11th through November 6th, I'm going to want to go to every one of these. So I think we're gonna have to do Saturday night vibes, bro. I think we're gonna have to do Saturday night vibes. I never shipped my stupid eBay packages. I'm gonna have to go do that pretty soon. Actually, did we beat Clovis last year? I think we might have lost to Clovis last year at the varsity level. I know the freshmen and the JV absolutely destroyed Clovis. Yeah, they did beat us. Ooh, that was gonna. Oh, our kids are gonna come out. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. Last year they weren't very good. It was they mostly had like sophomores playing. Yeah. Yep. It'll be fun. Fun year. You still got to do your shit. Dude, you're running up against it. It's almost midnight back there. All right, let's try this one, see how it looks.
Your life is about to get way easier because I'm going to teach you 10 ways
All right, we got the pink.
that you can use Grok for PowerPoint add-in
Got some more
to be
pink.
more productive, produce better materials, and maybe even get one of those fancy employee parking spots like Lumberg.
I love it. That one's locked in. All right, buddy. Talk to you too. Still got 10 minutes. Man, so now I got to get 4 graphics done in 10 minutes. I don't know if I can do that. Because the speaker side right panel one I think is complicated. Yeah, these are getting into some more complicated ones. This UI call out one for sure is going to be hard. This one, I like this one, man.
If you
This
have
is a
one
nice
of those
graphic right here.
soul-crushing corporate jobs,
See where it just types a prompt as I'm talking.
in PowerPoint, and even if
So that's cool. So I just have the last 4 to get dialed in, and then it's good. I just have to add one final button here to do the final video export, the final rendering. And the Content Command Center, CCC, is ready to start being used again, man. And this will be a major, major improvement. It literally was taking me 4 or 5 hours to do all these graphics, working with Claude Code and ChatGPT and HyperFrames and all that. And I think once I'm like dialed into using this tool, I think that I can do this in under an hour. I'll tell you what, John, if you think I'm an AI slop cannon now, you just wait until I can edit a video in an hour. Oh, we got someone coming in. Lucky number 150. And it's Ian from our live stream. Let's go. My Aussie. Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. 150 members. That is awesome. I'm gonna end the stream on that. That's a victory. I'm excited, dude. Thank you guys for taking time to watch me. I really appreciate you being here. Means a lot to me that you guys spend your free time watching me code. It's awesome. Hope to see you in our meeting soon. We'll definitely want to hear more about the projects that you got going on. You got some cool stuff you're working on. So I will probably be back on again tomorrow, finishing these last 4 graphics and just
wrapping this up and calling it a victory. So appreciate you being here, man.